The pressure to constantly pump out new content these days is honestly getting louder and louder. As creators and business owners, we're expected to be posting everywhere, from long-form videos to those quick little stories. The hard truth is, there are only so many waking hours in the day, which makes a good strategy essential. This year, your absolute secret weapon has to be smart content repurposing. But listen up, because just slicing a 12-minute YouTube video down to 12 seconds and slapping it on TikTok simply isn't enough anymore. Short-form audiences expect content that looks completely native to the platform they are currently scrolling on. They want punchy, platform-first videos, not just the boring leftovers from your main production. So today, I am walking you through a step-by-step workflow for turning one long video into multiple attention-grabbing clips that actually perform well. I'll show you how I handle this entire process using Vizard, which automates the boring grunt work but still keeps you firmly in control. The goal is to make the output feel completely handcrafted. So let's dive right into the magic. Step 1 is simple. Pick the long video you want to repurpose and get it loaded into the tool. Honestly, any long video works, whether it's a vlog, a simple sit-down, or a full interview. Once you upload it, the system immediately analyzes the file to begin the transformation. That's the moment the real magic starts. Vizard creates a full transcript and timestamps all the different scenes. It also gets ready to suggest all the moments that are most likely to be shared across platforms. You can absolutely do this manually if you prefer, but you already have a gut sense of the high-impact lines. Step 2 is all about finding those viral moments, and there are conveniently two main ways to nail this. Method A relies on your instincts. Rewind with your brain and think about which lines were spicy, honest, or completely surprising. If you took notes while filming, pull them up and highlight those one-liners and micro-stories that really land hard within a tight time frame. Method B is letting the software do the heavy lifting with its auto-editing viral clips engine. It automatically scans the transcript, detects peaks in audience energy and engagement, and suggests perfect clips. You can set aspect ratios like vertical 9:16, square, or even keep the original landscape if you choose. You also choose the layout behavior, like smart cuts or a single-shot presentation, and leave the duration on auto. I usually let the AI decide the length because it tends to pick the sweet spot for watch time and retention. Forcing an arbitrary 15 seconds on every clip is often just a recipe for a lower completion rate. Step 3 is where you tighten the clip up to make absolutely sure it feels totally native to the platform. There are two core elements we focus on here: the hook and the pacing of the delivery. The hook, which is the very first 1 to 3 seconds, is quite literally everything for stopping the scroll. Pacing dictates how quickly you actually deliver the promised value immediately following that opening line. You use the transcript editor to chop and move lines around, almost like editing text in a standard document. Seriously, the WISI-WYG transcript editor makes this entire editing step incredibly fast. You can highlight sentences, cut them out, paste them somewhere else, or completely reorder the whole argument structure. If you need that critical, this is why you should careline right at the very front. Just move it there effortlessly. Need to delete a slow, rambling explanation that loses momentum? Just remove it with a quick click. If a section shows you doing a desktop walkthrough that won't read well on a small phone screen, swap it out. Replace that clunky footage with a clean screenshot or a simple graphic and time that image perfectly to the audio track. Vizard also includes a couple of fantastic quick tweak tools that genuinely save you a ton of time. The set pace toggle is great because it automatically trims all those unnecessary pauses from across the entire clip. Then, the smooth speech option goes in and surgically removes all those annoying filler words you naturally use. These two clicks together completely change the rhythm, making your video feel much snappier and more intentional. Step 4 is making sure the final output truly looks like a platform-native short video. Let's be clear, good captions are absolutely non-negotiable because most people are scrolling with the sound completely off. Vizard auto-generates these captions, and the styling options are surprisingly creative, letting you go wild. You can choose outlines, shadows, rounded corner boxes, text animation, and even specific color emphasis. Tweak them to perfectly match your personal brand vibe, or pick a bold, high-contrast style that just pops on those small screens. Don't forget to add quick visual cues like animated arrows or stickers to highlight an important statistic. Also, adding an on-brand thumbnail frame as the very first frame helps it read well when someone is browsing the feed. Step 5 is exporting smart, and this is where you can seriously automate the posting process afterward. When you're satisfied, export in your preferred quality, be it HD or even 4K, with options to clean up the audio. The tool lets you normalize the audio, remove any background noise, and even strip out any unwanted watermarks. But the real game changer here is the auto schedule and content calendar functionality. Instead of downloading every clip and manually posting across platforms, just set your frequency and let the system handle the rest. You can preview the entire calendar, shuffle clips around, and even edit platform-specific captions before anything goes live. This functionality is the difference between being a full-time social content machine and, actually having a life. Now, let's quickly cover a few real-world fixes I always make to maximize performance on every single clip. If a clip starts with a low-energy frame or a truly awkward graphic, I immediately swap it for a tighter close-up or a punchy still shot. Remember, that very first frame you present is what ultimately decides whether someone decides to scroll right past you. If your video references a long, boring on-screen demo, cut that part and insert a clean screenshot or a quick animated mock-up instead. This ensures the clip reads perfectly clearly and quickly, even when viewed only on a small mobile device. I also constantly test 2 completely different captions for the exact same clip and let the analytics tell me which headline pulls better traffic. So, why choose Vizard when there are so many other editing tools out there on the market? I've used a lot of them, and the common pain points are usually scattered functionality across multiple apps. Some tools have great recording, but seriously lack the post-production and scheduling needed all in one spot. Others nail the transcription, but then make it incredibly difficult to export those perfectly sized, platform-ready formats. One common issue I've bumped into is that Tool A is just way too pricey for a whole team unless you pay for an expensive add-on. Tool B might nail the edits, but it has a clunky scheduling calendar and you end up posting completely blind without a good preview. And then Tool C's transcription can be quirky, meaning you end up fixing small caption errors on every single clip manually. Vizard's main advantage is that it bundles the entire repurposing workflow from start to finish in one cohesive place. It combines smart clip detection, the intuitive editor, fast pacing tools, caption styling, and built-in scheduling. So instead of piecing together 5 different disconnected apps, you get one hub that understands the whole content lifecycle. Plus, it's approachable enough for a solo creator, but powerful enough to scale up nicely for a growing team. It ends up being cheaper and far less fragmented than investing in some of those expensive, overly complicated suites. This tool is a natural fit, whether you're a creator dropping weekly long-form content or a brand managing their social presence. For creators, it turns one weekly episode into a massive, instantly accessible evergreen library of short clips. For a brand's social team, it's the key to maintaining a consistent posting cadence without turning editing into a total nightmare. You can easily schedule out promotional clips, educational tidbits, and even customer testimonials all from that single source video. Let's recap with my final tips for absolute top-tier performance on these short clips. Always front-load the main idea, because those very first 2 seconds are genuinely everything to grab attention. Keep every single clip extremely focused. Commit to just one main idea and one clear takeaway message. Continuously test your thumbnails and captions. Even tiny changes can swing your click-through rate massively in your favor. Never be afraid to repost and re-promote an older clip with a brand new hook or a completely different caption to test fresh context. So yeah, smart repurposing is your superpower this year, but you have to do it with intention, not just cropping and praying. Use a tool that finds the best moments for you, lets you tighten up that pacing, styles captions that actually look good, and then schedules it all. This frees you up to spend your valuable time creating new original content instead of babysitting endless uploads. Vizard wraps that entire powerful flow into one centralized platform, which is why I reach for it every time. If you're serious about scaling your output without completely burning out, try running one of your current long videos through the system today. Just let the auto-editing viral clips find the gems, set it to auto-schedule for a week, and see what happens. It is such a tiny investment of time for what results in a massive, consistent output for your channel. Trust me on this one, once you see how consistent it makes your presence, you will never want to go back to chopping clips manually. Alright, that was the full walkthrough of the streamlined workflow from start to finish for you today. If you are interested, I'll drop a follow-up showing an actual before and after comparison from one of my own videos. You can truly see how much tighter and more native the Vizard cut version feels in the feed. Thank you so much for sticking around for the entire breakdown, and I genuinely can't wait to see what you turn your long videos into next.